Okay, my mathematics degree is from the University of Washington. I've got a computer science degree from Bates Technical College, and I've got a teacher certification from City University. Most students don't care, but trust me, there's probably someone in the house that does care about this type of stuff. So anyway, I've gone to school. My name is John Euthes. Last name is pronounced Euthes. Unless, of course, you happen to be in Norway, in which case it is pronounced Uthus. If you really want the weather forecast for Uthus, Norway, usually you won't find it on an American news. So you have to look for Oslo, Norway, because the weather in Uthus is usually quite similar to the weather in Oslo. So you can see there's Oslo, Norway, and then, of course, next door is Sweden, and there's Stockholm, Sweden. And so Uthus, a small little town close to the border between Norway and Sweden. So when I was in public schools, most students just called me Mr. U instead of Mr. Euthes. APL, however, we tend to go by first name, so instead of Mr. U, I'm Mr. John or Teacher John. Of course, sometimes we have a BT named John or John. So it's a little bit less confusing if you call me Teacher John, because then we know you want me and not the BT. So how come I'm a teacher? Well, once upon a time I was going to become a model, a fashion model, and it just didn't work out. All right, so it's like, I have to leave that behind. And so then I thought, well, what else can we do? I was going to be a Hollywood movie star, right? Problem with being a Hollywood movie star is that when you get cast, it seems like I was always in the background, and someone like Heath Ledger was also in the foreground, and so while I was sitting in the background, I always got overshadowed. For those of you that have heard about the Oracle of Bacon, there's a game on the internet you play where it's like, hey, how many steps away from Kevin Bacon are you? So, I shared a scene with David Leisure, Kevin Bacon number 3, Gabrielle Union, again 3 steps away from Kevin Bacon, Andrew Keegan, he's kind of gone on to some bigger and better things. Daryl Mitchell, I really enjoyed him in Galaxy Quest. Susan May Pratt, Larry Miller, he was the dad in the movie I was in. Kyle Cease, David Krumholtz, Julia Stiles, Larissa. Allison Janney, of course, is an Oscar winner. She won an Oscar for supporting actress in a movie based on a Tonya Harding story. Heath Ledger, of course, is an Oscar winner. He won Best Supporting Actor when he played Batman in The Dark Knight. And Joey Three Name is what he was called on set. He was much younger back then. Of course, he ended up plays Robin in the Batman movie. So I actually worked with both the Joker and Robin. In fact, in the picture on the bottom right, that is the Joker, Heath Ledger, in the middle, and Joey Three Name Robin off to the far right there. And of course, I was in the background there, stealing that background scene. Of course, it seems so glamorous to be in that Hollywood life, but in all due seriousness, these are just summer gigs, right? When you're a school teacher, you do some really interesting things during the summer, and so that's where all these weird jobs came from. I was never really a model, never really an actor. What do I do when I'm not teaching? Well, I've got a wife, a son, and a daughter. And if you take a peek at a few of these photos, you'll see like, hey, must be social distancing, right? And we're like, no, our vacations were usually just out in the middle of nowhere anyway. And so while these may look like social distancing special vacation shots, we're often just hiking, snowshoeing, whatever, out in the middle of nowhere. All right. The further we are away from everybody else, I think the more fun we tend to be having.
Hey, it's me, Mr. John, or Teacher John, whichever you prefer. I kind of find this to be a little bit of a bummer because, I know as a parent, I've got a son, I've got a daughter. I love going into the school the day before school starts, meeting the teachers, dropping off supplies. I like back to school nights. I just like going in there and meeting the teachers. And often on back to school night, they'll even have like a big meeting in the gymnasium where you can wander around, talk to everybody, or sometimes they'll have you go from classroom to classroom to see what all your children's teachers are up to. And I miss that on the other side too, right? I miss having the students and the parents come in the day before school, drop off supplies and check stuff out. Or sometimes the first day of school, parents might accompany their students into the building, or they'll say hi in the morning or say hi in the afternoon. I miss that contact. I enjoy meeting parents. I enjoy working with the students inside the classroom setting. And, there are a lot of different jobs out there that employ mathematicians. And I am not a teacher because I have to be a teacher to do math. I'm a teacher because I enjoy working with students, right? There are many different jobs, or if I just was into math textbooks, I could probably get a job helping write a math textbook, or help, edit a math textbook, or, write problems for math textbooks. But that's not what motivates me, right? What motivates me is actually working with the students and watching the students have their abilities in math progress, watching the math skills get mastered, watching the inventive ways you go about inducing problem solving. Some of the most difficult things in math is trying to have the courage to put something on paper with that pencil, even if you aren't certain you're doing the right thing. Right? Sometimes you have to do guess and check. It's like, is this the right step? I don't know. Let's write it down. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it gets us to the correct conclusion. We do that a lot in algebra when we're factoring, about guess and checking. We do a ton of that when we get into some of the higher levels of math, some of the algebra 2 and especially the pre-calculus. If we're trying to simplify trigonomic identities, a lot is like, hey, which trade do you think you should make? Let's try to make a trade and see if it works. Let's see if it makes any progress. If not, we might try something else. Or when we get into things called synthetic division, which we'll most likely do in secondary algebra. Again, synthetic division, it's a process of, hey, what do you think the root might be? Let's plug it in, let's check, see if it works. If it works, we got it. If it doesn't work, well, we won't try it again, we'll try it differently. But sometimes you just have to have that courage to put something on paper and try it and see if it really works. And a lot of students, I think, like to share their thoughts in a lot of the classes, because in many classes, it's an opinion. What do you think of the main character in this story? What do you think about what we just learned with, the geography or the social studies or the history, or right? But with math, there's also that definite, hey, did you get the correct answer or did you not get the correct answer? And it takes a lot more courage, I think, in math to make a guess, knowing that either it'll be a correct step or it won't be a correct step, as opposed to many other subjects that say, hey, in my opinion, the main character in this story, right? Hey, it's cool, it's your opinion, right? All opinions can be valid, right? Some of us can say good things about the protagonist, others can say, hey, the protagonist should have done this instead, and then we make all sorts of different conversations and comparisons and contrastments when we're studying some of the other subjects. Math, very difficult, because it's going to fall as a correct solution or it's going to fall as an incorrect solution. And so no fair getting down on yourself, no fair feeling bad. If for some reason I goof up, and I do this in person all the time, if I use the wrong name or whatever, if you don't feel comfortable, let me know on Zoom. Just send me an email. Or if you're feeling a little bit timid, just tell your parents, hey, Mr. John, call me Frankie instead of Franklin. Or Mr. John, call me Sammy instead of Samantha, right? I mean, if I goof up, let me know, let your parents know, and they'll let me know, because I'm human. I do silly things. I make mistakes. I'm certainly not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm certainly not trying to make it look like I'm not being respectful of you. So if anything I ever do bugs you, irritates you, whatever, let me know, or tell your parents, and your parents will certainly let me know. Otherwise, I've got a son in school. I've got a daughter in school. They're both high school students technically this year, although the son's doing running start. I know for them it's a real bummer. I think of what my high school years were like, and some of the fun, goofy things that I would do with my high school friends. And hey, let's all go hang out at the pizza place, or hey, you want to go see a movie? What movie should we go see, right? And of course, the fun, exciting thing isn't going to the theater to see the movie. The fun thing is you're going to the theater with a bunch of your friends, right? You pile into a car. One of you's got a driver's license, and you drive down there and you park, right? And you wait in line to buy the ticket. And then you wait around the lobby, and then right? I mean, you're goofing around with your friends. Yeah, you end up seeing a movie, but that's really, really not the whole point of that social gathering, right? You're doing something fun with a bunch of your buddies from high school. And it's not necessarily like your friend from high school, it's just a gang from high school. Yeah, it's a group of you. Sometimes it's 2 of you, sometimes it's 5 of you, sometimes it's 3 of you, right? But you're just doing something kind of fun, something kind of silly. Sometimes you do things you hope your parents don't find out about, because you're a high school student, you're doing something a little bit silly. But right now with this COVID-19, my son's got his driver's license, but what can he do, right? I mean, he's not going to go hang out at the pizza parlor. He's not going to go to the movie theater. I mean, heck, you can't even go to the library. I mean, there are a lot of the things that you want your own children to do during high school, but it's not happening. And so it's a little tricky. In this reality, when just about everything we seem to do is going to be at our own home, with our own family, maybe the excitement is you take the dog for a walk around the block, but once you've done that every day for the last 150 days, it's not that exciting to take the dog for a walk around the block. So we all got to put our best foot forward. We all have to be optimistic. Perhaps second semester we will be in the building for part of the time, but we're going to do the best we can learning math. We're going to do the best we can with a positive mental attitude. This is kind of striking all this being a little bit difficult. So for those of you that know me, again, I'm Mr. John, Teacher John, whatever you want to call me. For those of you that are new to APL or new to AP High School, or maybe you've been in the high school before, but this is the first time you've had me as a teacher, welcome aboard. I'm going to try to make this the best positive experience we can.
I need to point out that if you kind of look right over my shoulder toward the left part of the screen, that's a classic pink plastic flamingo. They're kind of sun-drenched, but the ones that are off kind of more center screen toward the right, those are purple and gold flamingos for the UW Huskies. Woof, woof. And on with the show we will go.